Mayor Sheldon Neeley joined Dr. Mona to share data that shows infant death rates have been reduced by 50% since the start of RX Kids.
The greatest asset that any community can have in any place in the world are our children.
Launched in 2024, RX Kids provides direct financial support to expectant mothers and families with newborns, helping ease the financial challenges that often come with welcoming a new baby.
My daughter, Siobhan, here was one of the first recipients of RX Kids. It was what we needed for our first child.
Early results show fewer preterm births, fewer low birth weight babies, fewer NICU admissions, and a decline in neonatal infant deaths.
Our sleeves have been rolled up with the mayor and with community organizations and universities to make sure that Flint can redefine how to take care of kids. And that's exactly what we're doing.
What began in Flint has now expanded to dozens of communities across Michigan, and city leaders say the program is also drawing national attention as communities across the country explore similar approaches to improving maternal and infant health.
I get phone calls now every day from places that want to be just like Flint. They're like, how did you do this? We want to do this. We want to be like Flint. So Flint, like the mayor said, is a spark.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for this program. It really gave us that opportunity to grow as a family and to have a healthy family.
This is why we are Flint Strong.
The City of Flint's street maintenance crews are hard at work across the city. From Ballinger, Clio, Davison, and Stewart to many other roads throughout the city, crews are cleaning streets, milling old pavement, and resurfacing worn roadways to create safer, smoother streets for everyone. Please slow down and use extra caution in work zones to help keep our hardworking crews safe. With more than 500 miles of roads throughout the city of Flint, this important work takes time, but every mile completed is another investment in our community. Thank you for your patience as we are building Flint back, better and stronger.
Today marks a great milestone.
A federal court filing says the City of Flint and the State of Michigan have completed all obligations required under the settlement agreement, marking a significant milestone in the city's recovery.
We met all the obligations set forth in the lawsuit.
We have come a long way, and we have just witnessed a great accomplishment.
Mayor Sheldon Neeley says the accomplishment reflects years of work to meet the terms of the federal settlement.
It's with great pride that we can say that working together through the lens of unity and friendship and partnership, we've got to this point.
The water crisis has taught us that if we work as a team, we can overcome any problem that we have.
Officials also say Flint's drinking water has met or exceeded federal and state standards for the past 6 years, with testing continuing every 6 months.
We know that residents still need a level of support, and so the Office of Public Health still have systems available for residents in need.
Mayor Neeley says the city's commitment to residents continues through ongoing water testing efforts and will work to strengthen public confidence in its water system.
We support the mayor. He has an open door policy, and I think his concern has been.
Good morning. I would like to invite all the listeners on WFLT for a great broadcast, great day. I call it living in the bonus. Living in the bonus is one of those days that you wake up, you say, what kind of day is it? God has tapped us back into the game and got us here in the bonus of life. We have to be able to make sure that we unpack our hearts and our minds each and every day from any hostility, malice, anger, or negativity, so we can more positivity and love into our day. Each and every day we need to do that. Today we have our onboard pastor, Michael Pettigrew, Dr. Michael Pettigrew, and we always engage in prayer. Thank you, Dr. Pettigrew. Can you lead us with prayer?
Thank you, Mayor. The Mother City, kind and most gracious Father, we come before you and say thank you. Thank you for another beautiful day. A day that you enabled us to be servants, to do what needs to be done, but not only this way today, but throughout. We ask you to give us the strength that we need to make it through this entire day. Be with our mayor. Continue to be with him as he continues to be optimistic and have the wisdom and knowledge given from you to govern this great city. Be with his wife, Representative Neeley. Father, I pray they continue to work together collectively. And Father, as we go about our day, to be with those who have bereavement. Father, don't know which way to turn. Father, I pray and I recommend that they trust and keep their hand in your hands. At the end of each day, we say thank you, everything you have done for us. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. A wonderful day. You know, also when we wake up each day, we will find what we're looking for. If we wake up complaining, irritable, looking for negative, we'll find those things. But if you wake up positive, with a great mind, you'll find the positive things that you look for. You know, one of the things that we have in this great community that I was born and raised here as well as Pastor Pettigrew is an education system. Leading that education system right now is Superintendent Jones. Some very turbulent times, some down times, but now we definitely are on the upward spiral of education, public education. So parents, grandparents, I would encourage you to choose the public schools as we look at a new school year coming up. But also, great news, a couple of weeks ago, I was very proud to take part in a new groundbreaking for a new high school inside the city of Flint. Online with us this morning, we have Superintendent Jones. Good morning, Superintendent.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for having me on today.
Well, we got to spread the good news. We got to let people know what is going on and not let misinformation, disinformation take hold. We have to be able to spread the news and saturate the environment with the real things that's going on each and every day. Go ahead and talk a little bit about the new school bill.
Well, we're excited about the new high school. We have received $35.9 million from the state of Michigan to support the building of the new high school. We have our local delegation to thank for that, and our state Senator Cherry, Representative yourself, Mr. Mayor, and also the Board of Education has worked very hard in ensuring that we use those dollars toward what they were for. And then we have the commitment for up to $100 million from the Charles Stewart Knott Foundation, led by Mr. Ridgway White, who has been very impactful in Flint community schools over the years. And this high school is not just a high school that's being built for Flint. This is being built by Flint. And so we're excited about a 1,000 capacity high school that's being built on the property of the former Flint Central High School and Whittier Middle School. And so we have broken ground on that high school. As a matter of fact, this Monday we'll be taking down the Savoy building this Monday at 10 a.m. We put that press release out this week. We're excited to lead that charge alongside the Board of Education to ensure that our city has a school that they can be proud of. So we're excited about it. A lot of work ahead. We're in a very demo, and we'll be breaking ground on construction itself in 2027.
Right, and we talk about prayer planning, partnership, things that say often. Definitely, it always takes a prayer and then a plan and being partnered to get something like this through. You just enumerated a level of financial partners, starting with the state of Michigan, Representative Neeley, Senator Cherry, and a few others, putting the first initial $35 million forward to be able to do this project along with our philanthropic organizations. To be able to fill in the rest of it along with the Board of Education, making sure our students will have a great, fresh place to educate as we usher in a new century, because that building stood and was first constructed and built and opened in 1926. Am I correct on that date?
I can't say at the moment, but you're close. You're close. It is the oldest. It was the first high school built in community schools. Right. And the community schools is over 150 years old, but this was the first high school built in community schools, and it makes sense for this to be the high school location for our community and our city. And we share also with partners in the cultural area as well with this project.
Right, and as we think about our new minds and new technologies and the way that we have to educate ourselves in this community and other communities around, it just says that we need new brick and mortar to be able to do so. You have to think back a century ago, we didn't even really have TV, and now we have cell phones, and we have earbuds, and we have Wi-Fi. We have all these new types of technology. So therefore, we need a building so we can be able to educate our kids correctly on that scope of education. And then, and I want to congratulate you for the level of partnership that you have had with the city of Flint, as well as the state of Michigan, to be able to get these things done. So congratulations to you on these fine movements. And people have to understand this is a positive movement, and we are Flint strong as a byproduct of it. But also, as we talk about early education. Early education used to be when you were 4 years old that you went to pre-K. But now we have a system where we can take young babies in 6 months of age or a little bit older than that. Talk a little bit about that little program that we have where we're engaging in that space.
Well, first of all, we have put billions of dollars into early childhood education and ensuring that we have early childhood in all of our elementary schools. Plus, over at the Brownell Homes building, where we did a $40 million renovation, and a Q, which is the first of its kind in our in the state, where we have an after-school building that's built specifically like it is for after-school programming, and also a gross motor room for our early childhood students. So one of the things that we've done in Flint Community Schools for early childhood, Mr. Mayor, is we partnered with other early childhood institutions like GISD, GCAR. We're all in one space, which means that early Head Start, and pre-K, a family can come in Flint Community Schools and start at 6 months old, 6 weeks, 6 weeks old, and they can finish their career in high school at Flint Community Schools. And at the Brownell Homes campus, you can go 6 weeks old to 8th grade, and then matriculate over to the new high school when it's built. And so we have decided in early childhood is where it's at. It's where it starts. It's where you have to put a lot of your time and effort for our scholars so that they can start off correctly. And then what we have done at the high school level with you, Mr. Mayor, is the peer mediation, which has been so important with our scholars. I was able to be a part of that and see that in action as it pertains in real time, where you see scholars preventing issues from happening with their peers. And so that has been instrumental. But we are also looking at how early childhood can expand across the community schools. We're looking at other opportunities, working with partnerships in the community as well that will support early childhood. So we're trying to be well-rounded for our scholars. It's not just about educating them, but it's about feeding them. It's about growing them. It's about all of those components that make a human being what they need to be a part of society.
Right, and we know we talk about that level of planning, but definitely we're going to transition. And thank you, Superintendent General. We talk about early starting at 6 weeks of age, but let's go beyond that. In this community, we've started programs like RX Kids, and we have Dr. Mona here with us, the founder and the visionary for RX Kids, meaning that before we can put them into a school program at the early age of 6 weeks, we have to be able to nurture them as they grow in the womb of their mothers. This program has been expanded up to maybe more than 30 communities throughout the state of Michigan and also outside the borders of Michigan, Ohio being the newest state that signed on. Dr. Mona, for Flint is the birthplace of our kids, and great news here. Now we're starting to support the health of mothers and the health of those early infants. Dr. Mona, you want to share with us on that?
Yeah, it's great to be here, Mayor Neeley, and I think this is beautiful to follow my friend, Superintendent Jones, because this is the same work. We talk about investments in our childhood and how important that is to make sure kids are getting to school and getting high quality early childhood care. We know so much about that prenatal to preschool window where brains are just doubling and whatever little kiddos get in that early critical time really builds the foundation for lifelong education, lifelong health. So we have, done so much in the community around early childhood, especially after the water crisis. My favorite place in the world, I think, is Educare. We have so much that has put into early childhood. And when we took a step back, we're like, this is amazing, this is great, but we have to start earlier, like you said, Mayor. We need to start as early as possible to give our babies the strongest start. And that's what our kit is providing moms and babies a little bit of economic support because that's when families are poorest, and we know that when you don't have the resources you need in that window, it's really hard to grow up healthy and successful. So this innovation started in Flint in January 2024. Folks said we couldn't do it, and we said, watch us because we do amazing things here in Flint. And Mayor, we are now in over 60 Michigan communities, which is just absolutely incredible and absolutely expanding to other places. And we've learned a lot. And what we've learned is really kind of based on evidence from around the world, because this is normal. Other countries have things like paid leave. We're one of the only countries in the world that doesn't have paid leave. Other countries have child allowances where families are supported, especially with young children. And what we're learning, our families are more stable. They are able to make ends meet. There's a significant reduction in financial stress. They can. We have a 90% drop in evictions in Flint. Families can pay rent and mortgage. They can buy food they need. They can buy diapers. So families are more financially stable. And that's translating into these population level health improvements. Because once again, this is for the whole city. This is not a program for people, it's a program for places. And what we're seeing in our population is more moms are getting prenatal care, they're getting the important health education they need. We see less smoking during pregnancy, mainly because of a decrease in stress. And then we're seeing healthier babies. That's what it's all about. We have less premature babies, less low-birth babies, less babies needing to go to the NICU. And it was such a joy a couple of weeks ago to be with you, Mayor, where we shared early findings on neonatal mortality. And Mayor, you've been talking about this for a long time, the tremendous disparities in infant mortality. And finally, we are seeing a reduction in that disparity. We saw a 50% drop in neonatal mortality, and that's deaths of babies within the first month of life. And we statistically eliminated the disparity. So there used to be a big gap between the rate in Flint and the rate in the state of Michigan, and that's gone now. And really, this is what it's all about: making sure our mamas and our babies are healthy, that they're born healthier, and that it's not just about surviving. We're seeing them surviving more. It's about making sure that they can thrive, so they can go on to their awesome schools and be successful.
I want to sum this up. For people inside the city of Flint, when they talk about our community, we want to make sure that they understand fully where we are. In this community, we start you out now with a level of service up on, mothers that are expecting, pregnant mothers. So we start loving our residents in this community at that very early age of when they first are created. Then up on birth, we as early as the 6 weeks of age, we can get them into our school programs, making sure we can get them a healthier start in that through education. Now we're building a secondary education for them after completing education in the Brownell Homes project, starting from elementary school to junior high. Now a new bill for high school. Upon completion of high school here in the city of Flint, we have what you call the Flint Promise. If you graduate from a Flint school, you can go to college here in Flint for free. Kettering University, University of Michigan, Flint, Vermont College. And so when you talk about the whole operation of logistics of how we care for people here in this community, it is from conception all the way through college. And we also then will have a strong citizen base because we nurtured from the very first moments of creation of life. And this is something that we have in Flint. We are the first to do things like this in our country. This is really, really well. And this is the positive things that we cannot ignore because they are right here. We're doing it each and every day. But we need more like-minded thinkers to lean into. So, Dr. Bowman, I'm going to transition a little bit here to public safety and how to build stronger citizenship in our community, because we have to teach so people can be groomed in the way of positive thinking and positive action. And we have on the line with us now our great leader in law enforcement, Chief Terrence Green. Chief, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing fine this morning, Mayor. Thank you.
Good. And you are not just in law enforcement and suppressing crime, but also you are into the space of developing our young people through our police athletic league, our PAL program. We have rebirthed the PAL program. We have a new home for our PAL program, Haskell Community Center, which we have spent a tremendous amount of dollars rehabbing, getting it ready for the programs in which we have every day. And you called me the other day, very excited, talking about you had some older college basketball players training elementary school basketball players into the new Haskell PAL Center this weekend. And talk about a little bit about prevention as you know is important to law enforcement.
Yes, Mayor. The prevention of especially our young adults, our youth getting involved in nefarious activity, gang-related activity, things of that nature. It's important us to grab onto them at the early ages, elementary age. So we have an enrichment program being conducted, youth enrichment programs being conducted out at Haskell Youth Center, which is totally renovated, thanks to you. I've been in touch with several ex-athletes from the Flint area that are also motivated and enthusiastic about helping train our youth and getting them involved, participating in their youth enrichment. So yeah, we've had several college students, several ex-athletes, professional athletes that are involved in these programs and are assisting us 100% with their time. Not with their money, with their time. And that's what's most important to me is their time.
Chief, you've done a wonderful job. You and I both were born and raised in this community, a community which we love, and we're giving back each and every day. And we have to wade through a lot of things, and definitely through our journey, we come into contact with people like Dr. Mona, great vision in the healthcare area to be able to help us stronger, physically stronger, and our health better. And now you're doing it, not just as a police chief talking about arresting people or jailing people, but you're also talking about building strong people through our PAL program. And also we're working in the schools, like Superintendent Jones said, with our peer mediation programs, with police officers training young people there how to de-escalate some things there that may be a disagreement. And Pastor Pettigrew, with the Faith-Based Alliance, you are weighing in on that space too. Pastor, talk about some of the things that you have witnessed being on board with us in faith-based leadership for us for the last 3 years.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Well, the faith-based ones, we're glad that we had an opportunity to come together with you, Mayor, to talk about some things, how we can spread the good word from our pulpit, and others know how we can be more helpful to the city. We want to thank you and Chief Green for all the information that we need so we can all be a better city together. And one of the biggest volumes of pulpit information we get is from the pulpit, and the commissioners know this is the direction you can go in and keep your city safe, and you can negate all the negativity. And if you get the information from the mayor and from the city and from our chief, then we can be a much better city. And it's really working.
Right. And we just had a great announcement again this past week. The lawsuit that was levied against the city of Flint in 2017 at the height of the water crisis from the Concerned Passage of Social Action was levied that says that they wanted to be able to remediate all pipes, all lead service lines that cause a problem. That lawsuit has now been satisfied and exhausted. The Attorney General filed this past week to said that all things have been satisfied. Those are real things that we are talking about. We are doing the real things. The emergency has been released from the EPA, the highest environmental protection agency in our country, the EGLE, and now the lawsuit in the court that said we have satisfied these things. Now, we do understand people are in a position to be able to have different thoughts about it, but the facts are saying every day our water is testing better than any place in the state of Michigan. It could be the country itself as it relates to the things and the pressing of us working together. I want to thank Pastor Alfred Harris for being part that announcement is true. And just look at the data, and these are the real data points. Our pain was monetized in many different ways through this, and the federal government is still in charge through the 85th U.S. District Court by way of special master. The federal government is still dispensing cash payouts of the settlement that is moving to the special master. The federal government is in charge of that. Not the municipality nor the state of Michigan, but the special master, the federal government, are still paying out categories. There are 30 categories, one of which is being used and paid out now. But definitely we're working to stay engaged and stay in tune for the good information for those things that's happening, and we're working together. Definitely we are moving together to look at these things in its totality. Flint is doing so well. And Dr. Mona, we look at zip codes and life expectancy by zip code. We saw some of the our deepest urban areas, concentrated areas of Black and Brown people have the lowest amount of life expectancy in those zip codes. But through the work that you're doing, we are now expanding that at the very early ages. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's why this work is so important to be done for entire places. So this is a program for entire communities, for everybody in Flint. It's not about how much someone makes or first pregnancy or high-risk pregnancy. It's for everybody. And that is purposeful to get at these long-standing disparities, these kind of compound diversities that have been there for years, if not decades, because of policies and racism and these geographic reasons that make it hard for some babies and some people to grow up to be healthy and successful. So we were very deliberate to make this a program that uplifts entire communities. And that's what we're seeing. At a population level, we are seeing a reduction in these disparities. Finally, we have a solution that is treating a place and not treating a person. And when you do something for a place, we're also sending our families a different message in Flint. We're telling them, like you read it there so often, we're telling them they're loved. That we see you, we hear you, we're standing alongside you. This is about dignity and deservingness and trust. It's not about shame or stigma like so many of our social problems. And we're celebrating our families. And Mayor, I hope all the listeners can join us this coming Friday, the 17th, because we're having another baby parade. And this is a moment where we come together as a community with our legislators and our leaders and the mayor and our funders and our friends and our mamas and our babies and our families and their dads to celebrate. So that's going to be this Friday at 3 p.m. And at that baby parade, we're celebrating the big awesome things that we do in Flint. We're actually going to be announcing that our kids is expanding to even more Genesee County communities.
Wonderful. And I'll be leading that parade with the funny looking hat on. And I'm so happy and so proud. This is the work that God would have us do, working together, doing these wonderful things. And Pastor Pettigrew and Habakkuk says, write the vision, make it plain. And we have done that. We talk about forward vision, forward planning, and we went from from crisis to recovery, now recovery to confidence. We're moving forward in a positive spaces. So push away from those things that where people have these negative pieces and all these negative things going on. Don't take part in that. It's not productive to our overall holistic system of growth in our community. Today at 1 o'clock, second part of our Heroes Weekend, we want to thank the legacy of Fred T. Robinson and his family as we rename the street in his honor. A civil rights attorney going through his 50s and the 60s, late 50s, 60s in my community where racism was more prevalent in these communities, and definitely we had fighters and champions. Today we'll be renaming the street over on Stewart and Grant in the honor of the late, great Reverend Dr. Lewis Randolph, a great pastor. We're doing that today at 1 o'clock. Please join us as we have celebratory functions for those shoulders that we stand on today from this community. Making sure Champions Weekend is really pushed forward. We're doing so much great work, and I want to just thank you, Dr. Mona, and also Pastor Pettigrew, for your advocacy in this space, because we do this out of love for one another in our community. And Pastor, we say these things and we do these things, and I know the heart, our police chief, Terrence Reed, I truly know his heart, and understanding his heart, for civility, to protect and serve. is the mantra of law enforcement, and that is what we're doing here in the city of Flint. They have a law enforcement officer that leads with his heart to protect and serve his residency here. He's doing a fantastic job. In this city of Flint, we have provided summer jobs for young people, places for young people to recreate, education opportunities for them to be able to understand how to de-escalate any particular hostility. And now we need more from the residency, because these young people that are doing and engaging in these crimes, carrying weapons, doing mischievous things, we need you on board from the churches, from our business sector, from our community sector. We need you on board, not just to point out a problem or a hostility, but just to engage one another in love and friendship to be able to help us with this. Illegal dumping is down, infrastructure is being rebuilt, but this is all part of a plan. And in fact, I want to give you a moment to go ahead and tell people how they can sign up for RX Kids.
Yeah, it's super easy, rxkids.org, and then click apply. The application takes about 20 to 30 minutes. Our mom has helped us develop it. Folks have to upload verification of residency and pregnancy, and then there's a really robust verification on the back end. And in Flint, you just have to be 16 weeks pregnant to sign up or have a baby. And the program extends up to 12 months of age in Flint. So moms get $1,500 in pregnancy after 16 weeks. And then $500 a month. Super, super simple. Once again, it's all built. It's built on love. And we in our research, we're actually showing that mamas feel more loved. They feel more respected. They feel more empowered. They have pride in their community for bringing this program. So all the information is on rxkids.org, and we can't wait to share this with even more Genesee County families.
Yeah, I want to congratulate State Representative Sheldon Neeley also for gaining another $8.5 million to be able to demo some more structures here in our city. But this $8.5 million is about demoing vacant school buildings to clean up our landscape. So congratulations to the most decorated state representative out of this area. Also, I want to thank those of like thinking to continue to wrap their arms around the things that we're doing here. For crisis recovery, from recovery to confidence. Thank you, Chief Green, for doing all the great work with those young people over at Haskell Community Center. If you have not seen that community center, please go over and take a look at the McKinley Center, May Center. We are recreating, engaging, health, and all opportunities for us. Join us today at 1 o'clock over on Stewart and Grant Street for the second part of Heroes Weekend for Reverend Dr. Louis Randolph. We're doing a street naming, and just stay positive, stay engaged, and love harder and stronger, and the world will be much better. Pastor Pettigrew, thank you also for your advocacy with us. Now I want to turn it back over to WFLT. Thank you guys. A great show this morning.
The Flint Police Department hosted its 4th annual Meet and Greet and Recruitment Fair, bringing officers and the community together for a day of connection, fun, and career opportunities.
Between the police department and our community is very important to us, so we decided to do it about 4 years ago, and it's been successful and growing ever since. There's always something new, and that's why we're here.
Families met Flint police officers, explored patrol vehicles, and participated in activities for all ages. The event also gave potential recruits the chance to meet one-on-one with officers and learn about the hiring process.
Just come here and get you a career, not just a job, but a career.
I've been here for 28 years, and we are family here. These are my brothers and my sisters.
Mayor Sheldon Neeley continues to support the Flint Police Department and recognizes the dedication and service the men and women of the department provide to the Flint community every day.
I've known the chief and I've known the mayor for a very, very long time. The police department especially, we thank them very much for all the support.
Special thanks to Michigan Works, Financial Plus Credit Union, all participating vendors, the dedicated men and women of the Flint Police Department, and everyone who helped make this year's recruitment fair a success. Together we are.
We are Flint Strong.
We are Flint Strong.
That's right, Flint Strong.
The City of Flint's street maintenance crews are hard at work across the city. From Ballinger, Clio, Davison, and Stewart to many other roads throughout the city, crews are cleaning streets, milling old pavement, and resurfacing worn roadways to create safer, smoother streets for everyone. Please slow down and use extra caution in work zones to help keep our hardworking crews safe. With more than 500 miles of roads throughout the city of Flint, this important work takes time, but every mile completed is another investment in our community. Thank you for your patience as we are building Flint back, better and stronger.
Today marks a great milestone.
A federal court filing says the city of Flint and the state of Michigan have completed all obligations required under the settlement agreement, marking a significant milestone in the city's recovery.
We met all the obligations set forth in the lawsuit.
We have come a long way, and we have just witnessed a great accomplishment.
Mayor Sheldon Neeley says the accomplishment reflects years of work to meet the terms of the federal settlement.
It's with great pride that we can say that working together through the lens of unity and friendship and partnership, we've got to this point.
The water crisis has taught us that if we work as a team, we can overcome any problem that we have.
Officials also say Flint's drinking water has met or exceeded federal and state standards for the past 6 years, with testing continuing every 6 months.
We know that residents still need a level of support, and so the Office of Public Health still have systems available for residents in need.
Mayor Neeley says the city's commitment to residents continues through ongoing water testing efforts and will work to strengthen public confidence in its water system.
We support the mayor. He has an open door policy, and I think his concern has been for the citizens of Flint.
For questions or additional resources, residents are encouraged to call 810-410-2020. We are Flint, and we are. Mayor Sheldon Neeley joined Dr. Mona to share data that shows infant death rates have been reduced by 50% since the start of RX Kids.
The greatest asset that any community can have in any place in the world are our children.
Launched in 2024, RX Kids provides direct financial support to expectant mothers and families with newborns, helping ease the financial challenges that often come with welcoming a new baby.
My daughter, Siobhan, here was one of the first recipients of RX Kids. It was what we needed for our first child.
Early results show fewer preterm births, fewer low birth weight babies, fewer NICU admissions, and a decline in neonatal infant deaths.
Our sleeves have been rolled up with the mayor and with community organizations and universities to make sure that Flint can redefine how to take care of kids. And that's exactly what we're doing.
What began in Flint has now expanded to dozens of communities across Michigan, and city leaders say the program is also drawing national attention as communities across the country explore similar approaches to improving maternal and infant health.
I get phone calls now every day from places that want to be just like Flint. They're like, how did you do this? We want to do this. We want to be like Flint. So Flint, like